Lauren Pharr, an avian ecologist and a current PhD student at the North Carolina State University, is an African-American woman who grew up in the rural town of Waxhaw, North Carolina. Throughout her childhood, her father, who was a hunter, and uncle, who was an avid backyard birder, influenced her interests in wildlife and birds. Pharr would later attend Wingate University in hopes of pursuing a lifelong dream of becoming a veterinarian. However, as a junior in her undergrad, Pharr decided on pursuing an environmental biology degree after taking a course in wildlife biology. She would then go on to research changes in vocal harmonics of the Chinese blue-breasted quail. Pharr presented this research at the 2019 Association of Southeastern Biologists Conference in Memphis, Tennessee, the 2019 Southeastern Undergraduate Research Symposium at Queen's University, and the 2019 Wellspring Symposium at Wingate University, where she won Wingate University's Undergraduate Research Award in Pure and Applied Sciences. Graduating with her Bachelor of Science in Environmental Biology in 2019, she would attend NCSU to pursue her Master of Science degree in Fisheries, Wildlife, and Conservation Biology. During this time, Pharr created a thesis that examined the impacts of urban noise and light pollution on adult avian survivorship using data from the citizen science project Neighborhood Nest Watch. Pharr was awarded research grants from the Alongside Wildlife Foundation and the North Carolina Wildlife Federation, both of whom supported her urbanization work. Later on, Pharr would focus on researching the impacts of climate change on avian behavioral responses. As a 2021-22 Southeast Climate Adaptation Science Center Global Change Fellow, Pharr began researching the potential impacts of climate change on brood reduction in the federally endangered red-cockaded woodpecker. She's given over 20 talks to professional societies and organizations, including the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences and the North Carolina Wildlife Federation, contributed to articles to BBC Wildlife, the Cincinnati Zoo, and eBird, has been a featured guest on podcasts for Three Rivers Land Trust Campfire Conversations, American Birding Association, and a segment of Ologies with Ali Ward, and has been featured in articles in Discover Magazine, National Geographic, and Wired. Pharr holds editorial roles at both North Carolina Sea Grant, where she has featured articles on the Gula/Geechee Nation and climate change on birds in North Carolina in their award-winning magazine Coastwatch, and is an editorial advisory board member for the Wildlife Society's magazine The Wildlife Professional. Through these forms of outreach, Pharr serves as a voice for avian species who experience the negative effects of human development and works to raise awareness of these effects in order to help with the management of birds as a whole. I selected Lauren Pharr because I share an aspect of her identity and admire her impacts. Ever since elementary school, I have always had a fondness for nature through my parents' upbringing and my own personal discoveries. Birding especially was and is always something I love to do as a hobby and a chance to breathe from the stresses of life. As such, I find comfort in knowing that people like Pharr are devoting their work to the conservation of bird species. Pharr's impact is truly inspirational to me, and it gives me hope that I'll at least have the chance to see certain bird species because of conservation efforts.